Welcome to the first screencast in the Year 8 Poetry and Classics module for 2013. This podcast looks at the first of the texts that you're going to be studying in the first week of the teaching, and those are the texts around Odysseus' meeting with the character Polyphemus. What I intend to do in these podcasts, and there will be one each week, is just to put the ancient text that you're studying into some sort of context. Odysseus, our hero, has managed to anger a wide range of the Greek gods, both during and after the fighting at Troy. He's travelling home with his companions from what is modern-day Turkey to what is modern Greece. In fact, Ithaca, an island off the west coast of Greece. So he's got to go all the way around the Mediterranean and back underneath Greece and up again. One of the gods he's angered more than anybody else is the god Poseidon, the god of the sea. He's managed to anger Poseidon principally because Poseidon actually supported the Trojan armies, and Odysseus was seen as instrumental in their downfall. And all the way home, Poseidon makes Odysseus' life and the life of his companions an absolute misery. They've had a huge range of adventures before they even meet the Cyclops. Now, this cheerful chap, you'll notice that he has fairly distinctive facial features. He is actually one of Poseidon's sons. A very, very dodgy person to annoy. However, Odysseus, being Odysseus, manages to do so. He and his companions land on the island where the Cyclops live. And it's an island full of sheep, because that's what Cyclops do. They herd sheep. Odysseus, obviously, his crew has been at sea for some time, kills various of these sheep, and manages to annoy the Cyclops, who takes him and his men captive and hides them in his cave, blocking the door with a large stone. Odysseus, being the resourceful and tricksy man that he is, comes up with a plan. I won't spoil it because you're going to be reading about it. What we need to know is that the Cyclops is very happy to eat men and munches his way through, I think, 4 of Odysseus' companions before the plan can take place. And before Odysseus, in the passage that you will read, manages to disable him before enabling his men to escape. Now, the Cyclops isn't the brightest tool that has ever been found in a toolbox. And Odysseus manages not only to escape him, but also to enrage him with a trick about his name. The Cyclops asks Odysseus his name. Odysseus, thinking ahead and planning, replies his name is no one or nobody. This is all very funny. Ha ha. Until the Cyclops, enraged, calls upon his brothers for help. They come out crying, "Who has hurt you? Who has hurt you, Polyphemus?" Ooh. To which Polyphemus, of course, replies, "No one, nobody." And everybody laughs at him whilst Odysseus sails off across the seas. Now, in this week's activities, you're going to be doing a fair amount of interesting tasks, probably different for each group, depending on the teacher. But broadly, this time, you're going to be looking at summarizing and transforming texts. The idea being that we enable ourselves to recognize the key events that happen in a text in the order that they happen, and also noticing any of the strong imagery being used or the ideas being used. Then we turn the story round. The Odyssey, you'll be asked to think, as you read it, what the narrative perspective is here. Is it a first-person narrative, second-person, third-person? What is it? You will discuss the effect of person in narrative, before being asked to write a task relating to it, in which you alter that perspective. Think about it. The narrative of the Odyssey is somebody telling you a story. If you had to write a diary or a letter from a character in the story, think about how that would be different, how that would alter the way that the story is told. Finally, just to keep you busy, Quick quiz. I'm certainly going to give a prize of house points to the one in my class who comes up with the most. How many products used in the 21st century can you find which use the Cyclops name or idea in their names or descriptions? You can use, when I say products, I suppose you can use TV programs or characters within TV programs quite happily. But this is the key. Also think, why is the term used? And is it a good choice, bearing in mind what you know about the Cyclops, for somebody trying to sell a product? Thank you for listening. There'll be more of these each week. Short introductions to the passages that you are going to be looking at during the week. Have fun.